everybody. We'll get started. Great college football game. Hats off to West Virginia. Thought they played a really tough physical game. So it was a battle out there. It really was. Both sides. I thought both defensive lines lived up to the hype. They were definitely the two most dominant groups on the field. No question about it. Proud of our resilience. I told the guys in the locker room. You look at. And I think most of you guys were obviously still covering our team at this time last year. And the difference, and to me, the biggest difference is we found some ways here when we haven't been at our best to win some close games. We've showed, I think, incredible resiliency, which we certainly did tonight. We were a very resilient football team, and we're growing, we're improving. Obviously, great effort defensively, holding those guys down. Had some key stops. Looked like we felt like pretty good job on third down. I see they're 4-14. So they did some really, really nice things defensively. Proud of the way we played, especially without a couple of our guys. Thought special teams were excellent. Turk obviously punted the heck out of the ball. We did a great job covering some of those. Had a couple decent kick returns, and then obviously the field goal at the end, the other field goals we were really, really good with. So proud of that effort. Offensively, still kind of trying to find ourselves a little bit, and we're not quite there. We opened halves so well and played some of our best ball there. We got to be able to maintain it. But I will say offensively, I thought in the night that was, we were a lot of frustrations. I thought we kept our poise, and we stayed within the scheme and what we were trying to do. And, listen, it ain't easy when you've had a night like that, and we've all had them. And we've gotten, all of us, probably a little spoiled around here because we haven't had too many offensively. It ain't easy to go down there. I think we had the ball on either our 7 or 8 yard line backed up, and you got to drive it down there and go score to win the game. And not only we do it, but we did it really a great job of just kind of executing, turning into a 4-minute situation where we're able to burn clock and leave them no opportunity to win the game. So some of our best ball right there at the end. I still have zero doubt about what we're capable of offensively, but obviously that's an area, all areas of the team got to get better, but an area there that we've got to take some big steps, and I know we can. So proud of this football team. Again, you look, just think about where we were 3 or 4 games into last season, and the difference is we found a way to win them. And then, what I told the guys after is look at the football team we were at the end of last season and how much of a difference there was from beginning to end. And that's got to be our goal, is to not to match any other team from the past, but just to simply make the improvements and make the jumps that we know we can make and we know that are inside of us and that we're capable of. And so that's going to be our focus. Feels great to be 4-0 and excited to get out to our first road test next week.
Let's go to questions. Ryan Aber.
Yeah, Lincoln, wanted to start off asking a couple things about the defense. One, you mentioned third downs. What was the difference there after that first drive when the third downs really killed you initially, and then it was so good the rest of the way? And then also on that last drive, the snap, just what was going through your mind then, and with the way that all played out, giving your offense one more chance?
Yeah, I mean, I think defensively we had a couple of busts on the first drive, and we, not to take credit away from West Virginia, but we gave them just some gimmies, and that's the thing we don't want to do. I mean, you're going to give up a play here and there. That's part of college football, but you don't want them to be gimmies. You don't want to be just a bust where they're really non-competitive, and that was probably the most disappointing thing on the first drive. But yeah, I thought we settled in, honestly, just played more sound. And I thought our front wore on them a little bit as the night went on. We started, limiting the run game, certainly a little bit better, and put them in a few more long situations. Felt like a lot of them were short yardage there early. We got them in a few more long situations and did a great job of execution. And the second question again?
The snap there that pushed West Virginia back and gave your offense another chance there.
Yeah, I mean, we got, listen, we got a break, took advantage of it. I knew we were going to get another chance either way, but obviously it was a great job defensively holding them out, and then, offense having to go on basically the length of the field drive. It's just a tremendous close. I mean, you see like a true team there. Defense hold them out when they're driving. offense, you haven't played very well at all in the night. Now all of a sudden you got to go, 80, 90 yards here, and then special teams got to execute it at the end. I mean, it took all three sides to win it.
Appreciate it, Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Kersey.
Lincoln, when your quarterback is struggling and the crowd is chanting for the backup to come in, what is your message to Spencer in that moment? And secondly, what do you think that last drive did for his confidence?
Yeah, it's college football, man. I mean, it's listen, when you have the expectations that we have here in this program and the expectations offensively, I mean, it's part of it. It's out of our control. Of course, we always, it always helps us a lot more when our fan base supports us. I'll come out and say that. I want to play better offensively more than anybody out there, but them being behind us is what helps. Spencer handled it. It didn't bother him at all. And honestly, as I was evaluating it through the game, we got to play a lot better around him. He can do some things better. He did. I'll tell you what, he hung in there and really trusted it. The only pick he threw, we totally busted a route that was probably his best throw of the night. So I know how it looks to the casual fan, and I'm certainly not saying that Spencer can't play better. He can, he will, but we got to play better around him too. We got to coach better around him, and we get it. Listen, that's when offensive football doesn't work, they're going to look at the coach and they're going to look at the quarterback. I mean, that's since the beginning of mankind. So we understand that they're big boy roles, and but we do appreciate, the support of the fan base. It was a great atmosphere in there tonight. And I tell you what, Spencer, and again, the whole offense, we'll own what we didn't do well. We're not going to shy away from that. I'll tell you what, it takes a lot of balls, all right, to do what we did there at the end. So people better see that too.
Jesse Crittenden.
Hey, Lincoln, obviously Gabe Burgage was huge for you guys tonight with those 3 field goals. I mean, in a low possession, low scoring game like this, do those field goals have even a bigger impact maybe than they normally would?
Oh, absolutely. We've had kind of 2 of these in a row. I saw there, you looked up. Yeah, I think our first possession in the first quarter, we didn't start. Maybe there might have been 5 minutes left. I mean, it just, again, two very eerily similar games here, where there were some conversions early, a lot of time chewed up, not many plays. Another, for today's college football, extremely low. And I don't know what the possession number ended up, but it wasn't many. So yeah, you gotta, everything counts more. I mean, the score, when you lower the possessions, listen, they don't matter. Both offenses are playing lights out or both offenses aren't playing well. Lower possessions is lower scores, and lower scores, again, everyone matters even more. And so Gabe, obviously, and the field goal team have been huge for us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
John Hoover.
Lincoln, I wanted to expound a little bit on Spencer's night. He had a little bit of a rough start. Fans are doing what they're doing. He comes back in the fourth quarter. You guys need points, and he puts together like 11 of 12 for 86 yards and 2 scoring drives. When people go to count, John Elway's fourth quarter comebacks or Joe Montana's fourth quarter comebacks, just seems like that's something that a quarterback is ultimately measured by versus, first quarter interceptions or something like that. Is that something you're proud of him for bouncing back and leading the team to a victory?
Absolutely. It ain't easy, man. It's a big job. It's not easy. And I'll tell you, on the sideline, he was never rattled, not one bit. And again, it's like the deal where we bust a route and he makes probably his best read or best throw of the night, turns into a pick. I mean, so many guys could say, well, I'm going to tank and man, nothing going right for me. I mean, even when I do it right, it's not working. And he hung in there and I think showed some real poise that he's been there. So again, he's got a good makeup about him. He's a tough kid. He's going to continue to get better. We're going to continue to get better around him.
Real quick one for you. I'm told that this was the first walk-off field goal in school history with zeros on the clock. What does that do for you mentally?
Really?
Yeah, I know. Shocking.
Wow. Right? It is. It's actually, we had an opportunity a couple years ago for Army. No, it's awesome, man. I mean, we've really spent a lot of time in the off season just for our guys, challenging them to be finishers, knowing that you're going to have to win these different ways. And that means a lot. I mean, just finding a way there at the end. It's something, and honestly, especially at a place like Oklahoma, sometimes it's tougher to do that at home. And it's just the expectations. And if you let that get to you as a player, it can almost make it at times more difficult at home. And again, I give our team a lot of credit. We fought through it. The crowd was great at the end. fun night in there. And yeah, there's no better feeling than finding a way when it's all on the line.
Thanks, Lincoln.
You're welcome.
Barry Trammell.
Yeah, Lincoln, on the second half in particular, it looked like your offense was actually a lot better in the second half. You had four.
Oh, yeah.
You scored 3 on your 4 possessions, and you might have scored a touchdown at the end if you didn't need a field goal.
Yep.
What was the difference in the second half? And also one particular play on the final drive, I think it was the 4th play of the drive. You had a first down, but they got in on Spencer immediately, and he was sort of able to wheel around and find, I think it was Gray on a little dump. You made 4 yards, no big deal, but it was 2nd and 6 instead of 2nd and 16.
Exactly.
Those 2 things.
Yeah, no, that was a big play. It really was. Just getting us in some manageables. It felt like, other than the first drive, it felt like we were just in 3rd and long. We just got so many longs, and part of it, we didn't run the ball very efficient. And that was really the main thing that kind of kept us there. So there we go. And obviously, yeah, the second half, we did. We obviously, we weren't going to finish that last drive. I mean, we were setting up to hit the field goal and try to, not give them any time. But yeah, we did play better the second half. I mean, we definitely did. And it took some guts to do it. We made a couple adjustments at halftime. And again, I thought our guys showed a lot of patience, man, because again, I promise you, nobody wants us to get rolling and play to our capability offensively more than us coaches and the players. And so when it doesn't happen, you can have that level of disappointment, or you can come back swinging. And we came back swinging, and we played much better. I mean, it was cleaner, made a few more explosive plays, competitive plays. We ran the ball a little bit better in the second half. Not great, obviously, but had some kind of key conversions there in the second half that were huge. So, yeah, we were better. We're still not anywhere what we can be, but we'll continue to plow forward.
James Hale.
Lincoln, you started out by talking about how the defensive lines dominated the game. And I'm curious, as you were going through trying to find things that worked for your offense, how difficult was it to find things that you could block and that you guys could execute, especially when the West Virginia defensive front was so talented?
No, they were good, and look, I don't want to make it like it was just some bloodbath out there and we were just awful on the offensive line, because we weren't. But again, they're a talented front. It showed up. There was just some individual plays that showed up, and we just got beat. And it felt like in the first half, every single one of them hit where we felt like we had it like now. There's just one of those halves, man. It just was. And I thought we played better up front in the second half. Guys got some movement in the run game. Again, had some critical drives there. Nothing more important there at the end. So again, offensively, you can just kind of group us all into one big ball, man. We have potential. We're kind of fighting our way through it. We're kind of trying to find ourselves a little bit. And if we'll stay together, keep working, keep improving, we will find ourselves.
Hey, congrats, Lincoln. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, Lincoln, you guys have been through some tight ones. It seems like every game this year. How calm is that sideline with you guys, going down the stretch? I mean, is there an air of confidence at this point with you guys that you just kind of feel like you're going to pull this out?
I think there's belief. I definitely think there's confidence that we're never out of the fight. And that the work that we've put in is there. And I think, what you've seen is some extreme trust on all 3 sides of the ball in those moments that, you don't really find out how much you trust it until you get in one of those. And do you really trust your teammates? You really trust what we're doing here on offense, defense, or special teams? Trust doing your job, your technique. I mean, all the little things tend to show up so much more in those big moments. And sure. I mean, you go do it. It gives you a lot of confidence that you can continue to do it again as other close games come up. And so it's been fun with the team finding a way. And I like this team. I think we're going to get better. And but it's fun to find a way to win these.
You guys defensively had 226 yards total. How much confidence is that? I mean, given the offense struggles, give the team?
Yeah, it's just kind of been our recipe for winning tonight. I mean, it just was. It's the way the game unfolded. Defensively, we bowed up and held a good offense down, some good players, especially proud of what we did in the run game. against a talented group. They do some really good things. Neil and those guys are so good schematically. They put you in a lot of tough positions. And so we kept responding. So it's, the thing about winning in your team is as your team evolves, your recipes and opportunities to win games different ways do. And the more you can strengthen all parts of your team, obviously the more different ways you can win games. So that'll be our goal.
Last one, Ryan Aber.
Yeah, Lincoln, you talked about the difficulty of what Gabe did there at the end. When you're working to set him up there, is that a conversation that you have before the game about where he wants it in those situations, or do you talk to him, during the flow of those things? And then also, what do you say to him, leading up to that kick? Do you go over the situation? Is it, trying to keep lighthearted? What's that mood like?
Yeah. We definitely know where he likes it. There's been times where that's evolved throughout a game, but we've been in enough battles together that I know exactly where he likes it, and we got it to a good spot for him there. And yeah, I mean, I've been enough of these with him, and we actually had they actually gave us the option there after the timeout if we wanted a 30-second or a minute, and I knew he was ready. I told him, let's 30 seconds, let's go to work. And so no, I didn't even honestly I didn't say anything to him. We're talking to our field goal team about execution, and I knew that between those three, Casey, Kelleher, Spencer Jones, and Gabe, they were going to do their part. I just knew we needed to protect them, and obviously knew that West Virginia was going to come at it with everything they had, and we did a good job protection and executed. So no magic words for me, just execution.